What is up, you booger eaters? Eric the Redbeard here today. We're going to do another Let's Lift. Today we're going to do legs, or as I like to call it, tree trunk day. I like to give each and every one of my lifts a fun little name. It's just a way to entertain myself. In the last video, we worked shoulders. I jokingly like to call it delts of destruction, and I felt pretty wiped afterward. So today on tree trunk day, we're going to work legs. I'm really juiced to get this leg workout in because I was working on my truck today and I was wearing these hard shell knee pads and they kept sliding down. So gotta get these babies juiced. All right, let's get to it. I like to start off with leg press. It allows me to get a big stretch across the knee, hip, and ankle joints. Gets me ready for the gauntlet to come. To be able to go deeper, I use some spare rubber pads placed behind my back. Without them, the seat bottoms out and I'm unable to get to the depth I want. Also, I like to put my feet to the bottom of the foot plate and allow my heels to come up in search of the best possible stretch. Here I change the angle of my feet from straight forward to toes pointed out. I had some discomfort in my right hip and this alleviated that by stretching out the hips more. At this point everything was warmed up, so I moved my toes back to pointed forward. Gregor likes to make fun of how my head turns cherry red when the lifts start to get intense. I never realized how red it gets. So now we're really into the heart of the workout. I like to do 3 different types of squat variations. You'll see them as they happen. What I really recommend is if you have a home gym, you don't just have to settle for the J-cups that come with your rack. What I would recommend you buy off Amazon, and they're very affordable, is the roller J-cups. They're really nice for when you go to squat. You got to get your bar just right. Prevents the bar from being torn up and helps preserve it a little bit longer. Okay, so there's another great tip for you. I like to wipe my feet before I squat to get rid of any dust that might cause my feet to move in a way that I don't want. I also use the Larry Wheels trick in which I kick the ground. It helps my feet sit tighter in my shoe. We're starting off the squat portion of the workout with a standard high bar barbell squat. Here I like to go parallel, meaning I go about halfway down or as if I was about to sit in a chair, and that just puts a greater emphasis on the quads. So I got a couple more sets left in this. I'm going to go up to 225, whether it's deadlifting or squatting. When I go up to 225, I like to put on a weight belt. I love this ratchet style belt from Spud Inc. Highly recommend it. Just fits you perfectly. I've got your traditional style weight belts, and I got turned off because one time I got stuck in it and I was only running all around this gym trying to get out. It was a real pain in the ass. So saw a video where Eric Bugenhagen, who I'm a big fan of by the way, wore this, and I was like, I have got to have that. So again, can't say enough about it. It's probably the best belt I've ever worn. I like to do this fun little trick, and I'm not really where I'm doing it. Where I'll grab a plate, I'll grab a 35, and I like my plates to face in. So what I'll do is I'll spin them like that and then put them on. This gym I used to go to, this kid saw me do that, and he was like, dude, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I was like, I know, thank you. Also, now that I'm really warm, I decided to take my pantaloons off. When I'm working legs, I like to wear short shorts and just feels comfortable. Funny thing about these is, and I've got multiple pairs of these, they have a little cock sock in them. And one time I put my treasure inside while I was squatting one time, and I went down and it all flopped out. I thought I tore my testicles. I was so scared. Hurt my rack the bar, and I checked everything. I was like, okay. So if you ever wear these short shorts, don't put your treasure in the cock sock. There you go. Here I'm squatting 245, and a thing of note, I'm squatting on a piece of plywood with tape running across it. This helps line my feet up better. I always have this insecurity that one foot is back from the other and I don't realize it. And so this is a thing that helps put my mind at ease, ensures that my feet are where they should be. Make sure you hydrate, children. Next workout is front squats. I use an SSB because it's less painful in my shoulders and I don't have to focus on balancing the bar as much. How these differ from the high bar squats you just saw is that instead of going as heavy as I can, I do these at a higher tempo to work my legs in a different way. My final squat variation that I do are Hatfield squats. I love these, and Grego and I did a video where we teach this very lift and the history behind it. Give it a watch. In trying to do each squat a bit differently, this one I go all the way down, aka ass to grass, and I pause at the bottom of the squat, which is what we would call pause reps. We're halfway through the workout now. The barbell section was more about beating up on the legs overall. And now in the workout, what I do is I really start to focus in on the different parts of the leg. Now I'm going to do 2 back-to-back hamstring exercises. I'll start off with seated hamstring curls. One of the things I want to point out is if you have something like this, most of them come with some type of pad like this to lock you in. I feel this is really uncomfortable on my thighs. Came up with a better option. I take a lashing strap, available at any hardware store, and I treat it like a seat belt. I know different companies, they sell what they call gym seat belts. I've never looked into how much they cost, but knowing the way most gym equipment is priced, you go to any hardware store, you can immediately get this. You get a pack of these for like, what, $10? Highly recommend something like this. This is going into my second set. The tether on the slashing strap was too damn long, making it cumbersome to get belted in quickly. Seeing how every problem has a solution, I decided to cut it down, and then I used my propane torch to melt the end to prevent it from fraying. Eric the Redbeard approved. Now with all that bullshit behind me, I can move on to seated hamstring curls. What's cool with machines is if you're able to look at things mechanically, you can find different ways to use them. Well, this machine is designed only for leg extensions and leg curls. I actually developed a way to where you can do standing hamstring curls on that, and I'm going to show you that in a bit. I want to go on a little bit of a rant though. A lot of people I hear say that the best way to build your hamstrings is by hip hinging, like stiff-legged deadlifts. That's a great way to develop your hamstrings. That's total nonsense, okay? I don't really like to speak in absolutes because only Siths deal in absolutes. Your hamstrings are known as the biceps femoris. It's the bicep muscle of the femur bone, and you have to bend at the knee just like you would be curling to build your biceps. If you really break it down, that logic, okay, if you do a straight-legged deadlift or Jefferson curl or something like that, that's how you build your hamstrings. Okay, anybody that says that and believes that, then I challenge you for the next year that when it comes to building your biceps, don't bend at the elbow, just do this. Let's see how big your arms get. 1 year. I don't want no excuses, well, it's different because the deltoids. No. There's about just as many muscles in your hip girdle as there is in your delts and your traps and yada, yada, yada. That's my little rant about that. I've always felt that that's a big piece of misinformation when it comes to dealing with building your hamstrings. And it's part of what just confuses people, loses them, turns them off. And if that's one thing that I can rally against, it's against silliness, but also making sure that people don't get to the point where they get frustrated and quit, get confused and quit. I want you to not quit lifting, working out, making yourself better. Okay, all right, let's get on to the exercise. For my second hamstring specific exercise, I like to do standing hamstring curls. Basically, this acts like a bicep curl, but for your hamstrings. Highly recommend it. It got chilly in the basement, so I put my jacket back on. But don't you worry, I still got them gams out for ya. Here I'm doing seated leg extensions till I hit the quadriceps, which are your thigh muscles. I'm actually leaning back at a 45-degree angle, so the thigh is under tension the entire time, creating more growth through mechanical tension. I also have the armature of this machine to cause my feet to go under the seat, giving a crazy stretch at the bottom. And now for the most boring workout visual you will ever see in any lifting video. Someone working calves! This is how I end my leg day. I bang out 20 reps here doing seated calf presses, and then I superset that by doing bodyweight single leg calf raises on a tow bar that I made. That tow bar was actually featured in the first video we ever did. All right, folks, that's the leg workout. Well, thank you again for joining me. I love working legs. I kind of see it like math. It's hard when you're doing it and can be unfun, but when you're done, you feel so satisfied. Thank you again for joining me. I want to make a couple points before we part ways. Going back to that little rant I went about working your hamstrings and whatnot, you have to understand, I've tried everybody's tips and types of working out from C.T. Fletcher all the way to Jeff Nippard, and I find a lot of the stuff just doesn't work. A lot of people say the same stuff. It may work for them, but I find myself and others that I've talked to and trained with, it doesn't work for them. So that's kind of why I went a little hard in the paint in that. I never want you to get confused and frustrated and then quit. To me, exercise in any form it is the greatest hobby you can have, because it's one of the few hobbies that you literally get out of what you put in. And I won't juxtapose to other hobbies, but I can sincerely say that I've been doing this for 20 years, and I literally get out of what I put into this. And you can too, okay? Just keep it fun. Stay consistent. Whatever enthuses you to do it. All right? Whether it's my style of training or somebody else's style of training. If I'm motivating you, I just want to let you know you're motivating me too. Ever since doing these videos, I've been pushing myself harder and harder, just up in that effort and that intensity. You don't have to. This is just me. But I just want to let you know that when I say let's go on this iron journey together, I mean it. I think back to the second video we did was the deadlifting video, and I saw I had that middle-aged dad pooch, and I said, no fucking way can I be taken seriously with this kind of channel and have that type of look. I've been really pushing myself hard. I want you to feel confident that what I'm telling you works. And it does work. It really does. You just have to try it. Yeah, those are just a few things I wanted to say that were on my heart and head. Probably next time I see you in this type of capacity will be chest day. Chest day is always fun. Everybody loves chest day. I love it. You love it. And if you haven't done it yet, you're going to love it. Chest day is a lot of fun. Until then, we'll see you next time.